Nobody loves waiting to download a video before you can start to edit, but with LucidLink we don't have to. Today, I'll show you how fast and straightforward it is to use LucidLink with DaVinci Resolve. We're going to cover setup, playback optimization, and the critical difference between where your media lives versus where your project lives. First, you need to understand why this works. LucidLink isn't like other cloud storage services. It doesn't download the footage to your computer. It actually streams specific blocks of data on demand. So you don't need to download and copy large files to your local storage. The DaVinci Resolve playhead position tells LucidLink to grab the data you need to build the frame you're viewing. And it'll use all the internet bandwidth that you can give it. When you install the LucidLink desktop app and log in, a file space mounts, and it looks and behaves exactly like a physical drive plugged into your machine. So to DaVinci Resolve, this is just another hard drive. But in reality, this is like a portal to the cloud that's linking to a single, non-duplicated master version of your source footage. There's never a version conflict between collaborators because everyone's looking and working from the exact same footage, which of course will save hours and hours of time every single week. Download and install the LucidLink desktop app and log into your file space. You'll see the drive mounts. Here's the critical thing to understand. LucidLink is for your media. All of the elements you use within a project. The media is streamed through the LucidLink cache location on your computer so you can see the footage instantly in the DaVinci Resolve viewers. LucidLink is not for storing the DaVinci Resolve project library. For the best workflow, you want to store footage assets on the LucidLink file space, but use Blackmagic Cloud for the project library. This gives you and your team complete remote access without the need to export a project file or carry a shuttle drive of footage around. You just need an internet connection. It's good to note when possible that it's best to connect your computer using a wired Ethernet connection instead of Wi-Fi for the best performance. To access the same project from any computer in the world, use the Cloud tab of the DaVinci Resolve Project Manager. When you first create a new cloud project in DaVinci Resolve, you will choose a location for your project media. Set this to a folder in your LucidLink file space. I use a project folder template like this. The idea behind a single folder is that all media for a single project is contained within one location, and that can make archival easy. If you would like to enable collaboration for the project, choose Allow Multiple Simultaneous Users, but do not synchronize storage with Blackmagic Cloud. Choose Don't Sync Media. This is important. We want LucidLink to store our footage, not Blackmagic Cloud storage. When Blackmagic Cloud stores the footage, each remote editor makes a duplicated local copy on their hard drive. So with Blackmagic Cloud storage, Resolve is always reading from a local file on your disk. But with LucidLink storage, Resolve reads from the cache to a single source of truth in the cloud, not a duplicated downloaded file. Click Create to start a new project. Now open Preferences, select System, and then Media Storage. DaVinci Resolve will store your cache clip and gallery stills at the top location in the list by default. These are specific cache files for Resolve to use, and they're different from the LucidLink cache. You want this first drive to be a fast, local, always connected drive. You should add your LucidLink file space mount to the media storage locations, but ensure that the LucidLink file space is not at the top of the list. Direct I/O should be disabled to ensure that operating system and file system buffers are used to help increase performance. Using automatic audio waveform generation and thumbnail generation does require Resolve to read the media as it's added to the timeline, so some users may prefer to disable these settings to avoid these background file reads from the cloud. For editing, especially with a slow internet connection, you may want to create proxy files. Proxy files are usually lower resolution from the originals, which makes video editing much smoother. See how easy I can scrub the DaVinci Resolve timeline with a proxy file? To make proxies, open the Blackmagic Proxy Generator application that was installed alongside DaVinci Resolve. Drag your footage folder to the Watch Folders section, choose a 1080p codec that you prefer, and click Start. This creates a fast-to-stream file that lives right next to the original footage and is enabled in DaVinci Resolve automatically by choosing the Playback menu proxy handling option set to Prefer Proxies. Don't worry, when you render the final video, it'll still use the full resolution media by default. When the time comes to finish a project, just change the playback menu, proxy handling, to prefer camera originals. DaVinci Resolve was switched to displaying the full resolution original footage, which is exactly what we need to see on the color page for accurate color grading, or in the Fusion page where we need to do pixel precise visual effects. The reason this works so great, even though it's really high resolution media, is because I can simply fill up the cache by playing the shots through, and the data is temporarily stored locally until the cache is replaced with newer data. And the beauty of this whole system is that I don't even have to think about it. The cache happens behind the scenes to make my most recent clips to perform the fastest. But you may be wondering what happens if you have a slow internet connection or you aren't using proxies. This is where pinning can be helpful. Pinning will pre-cache your data to any folder for the best performance before you even start to playback footage. To me, this is like a forced manual mode. To pin your footage to your LucidLink cache, right-click your footage folder in your file space and choose Pin. This forces the data to be loaded into your LucidLink cache and remain there without being overwritten by other files you might be streaming. It guarantees smooth playback because you're now playing off your local SSD, but the file path actually remains the same for everyone on the team. For example, if a graphic artist updates a Photoshop title to fix the spelling on a title and then overwrites that with the same file name, there's no conflict and the timeline just shows the updated file. Nothing will go offline, and so there is no relinking for anyone in the project. I personally found pinning to be the perfect solution when I go edit in an area like my backyard porch that has a poor internet connection. When your masterpiece is completed, you can render your timeline directly back to a folder in the LucidLink file space, and as soon as the render finishes, your producer that could be on the other side of the world, they can see the file immediately with no extra uploading required.